What is going on, Coach Launchers? Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. They call this Hump Day. Honestly, sometimes I don't even know what day is what. Because I use my daily planner and everything gets up into my calendar and gets scheduled. So some mornings I'll wake up and look at my calendar and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing today. I've already done all the prep yesterday that I needed to, etc. So they call it Hump Day, but I don't. It's hasn't been that for me for a long time. I want to jump into the group, so I'm going to just broadcast this into the Coach Launcher group. If you aren't in there, hop in there, and you can get access. I'll give you access. I'll give you access. I will personally go give you access, and we'll get you in there. Let me know if you can hear me. Patrick, how are you doing? Cindy, how are you? If you can hear me, let me know. That would be awesome. Let me just go ahead and share this into the group. And then we're going to talk about group coaching programs. As a brand new coach, should you have them? Shouldn't you have them? What would you use them for? The Coach Launcher group. Here we go. And perfect. There we are. All right. So, Cindy, you can hear me? Thanks so much. I always ask because I literally can't tell you the number of times I've actually gone live to do a training and people are like, hey, I can't hear you. And I just assumed you could. So let me open this up and let me open up the Coach Launcher group so that I can actually see folks in there and make sure that they can hear and see as well. And then we'll make it happen. There we go. Cool. Awesome. All right. So group coaching program. So this is a question that's been asked in this group on more than one occasion. And so I thought I would at least share with you. Look at that. I got all of them. What did I get? I got some, I got a thumbs up, a heart, a laugh, a wow, a cry, an angry. I don't know why someone's angry unless I've offended you. But so yeah. Should you have a group coaching program as a brand new coach? So this answer is going to be like a lot of my answers. And that is, it does depend. Okay? It depends. But it always depends on your reason and what kind of race that you want to be running. Okay? What do I mean by reason? Well, there are a lot of bad reasons to have a group coaching program. Okay, let me name some of them. Here's a bad reason to have a group coaching program: because you want more time. Why is that a bad reason? I'm going to get to that. But wanting to have more time, so combining for a group coaching program, that's a bad reason. When you're first starting, remember, this is all in the context of being a brand new coach, okay? Wanting more time to yourself. It's a bad reason. Here's a bad reason: because you want to sell something at a lower price point. Okay, that's not a great reason to have a group coaching program when you're first starting out. Let me give you one more poor reason to have a group coaching program: because you want to be able to scale. And so you want to start out with a group coaching program. Okay, so what is it about being a new coach? Sorry about that. What is it about being a new coach that would make me say that you probably shouldn't have a group coaching program when you start? And there are always exceptions. And if you just really, it's like anything. If you just really want one, have one. Okay? Like if you really want to spend too much money on a nice car, but if that's what you really want, then do it. And eat lower quality food, live in a smaller home, whatever you have to do to make that happen, go for it. It's your life, run your race. Okay? However, I'm going to tell you from my experience. Here's why I hear most people saying that they want to have a group coaching program as a brand new coach. Number one reason why, number one reason that they say is because, well, if I do one-on-one, I can't scale. I have to be able to scale this. Scale means grow this. So, when I have 100 clients, I can't do all those one-on-one. First of all, you don't know that because you probably haven't explored all the possibilities of what you can do with one-on-one, right? But that's the first thing people say. I want to be able to scale. Okay, that's fine. But focusing on scaling your coaching business when you have 0 clients is the worst thing ever. It will keep you 100% of the time from enrolling any clients. You'll always be at 0 clients. If, when you're first starting out, you want a coaching program so you can scale, you will never have the opportunity to scale. And here's why. When you're first starting out, you have the time. Maybe you have a full-time job and you've got a family as well. That's fine. But you can find time for one client to work with them one-on-one. Then you should find another client. Then you should find another client and enroll them and get powerful results for them. Deliver for them. Help them with the life transformation, or for your consultant, with the thing that you're consulting with them on. But do it one person at a time, because if you can't enroll one person, how are you going to enroll 10? I mean, literally think about that for 1 second. If you can't enroll one person, you can't enroll 10 by the very definition of what it means to can't. All right. If you're struggling to enroll one person, you're going to struggle to enroll 2. If you're struggling to enroll one person, you're going to struggle to enroll 5. This is part of why we do Coach Launch, and I have clients, is to help them learn how to consistently enroll new clients. So if you are launching your coaching business and you're starting with a group coaching program so you can scale, it's a mistake, in my opinion. All right. Now, that's the first thing. The second thing is, once you get to 10 clients, if you feel like you're running out of time, space, and energy, you don't have to open up a group coaching program. You can raise your prices. Have 5 clients instead of 10 and charge double. Does that make sense? You're just raising your prices. Okay. There is a time where you can do both. You can both raise your prices and continue to do one-on-one. And then for those people who just don't have the ability to invest in your coaching, you could then do a group coaching program. But by that point, you've learned how to consistently, systematically follow a proven process to continually enroll new clients. So then you will start out your group coaching program as a group coaching program. Does that make sense? Even where I'm at, I don't have just a straight up group coaching program. From time to time, I will have, an event, so to speak, right? I'm just doing a high performance opportunity event with people who want to learn what it is I consistently go over with new executives. I'm doing that in a group program. There isn't really any one-on-one on that, but I'll probably still do some one-on-one there, right? And walking them through a 6 to 8 week program with live group coaching. However, even in Coach Launch, you have one-on-one, you have as much one-on-one as you need. There's a group aspect, but that group aspect is for support, because it's like family in there. And by family, I mean like brothers and sisters. I don't mean like extended family. It's a crew. They support each other. They're going to be friends for life. Anyone who's in Coach Launch will tell you that. They're just so well connected in there, and it's fantastic when you're struggling, and it's fantastic when you want people to understand what you're going through, right? When I started, no one understood 7, 8 years ago, no one understood what a coach life was in my life, let alone supported me in starting a business. Another reason, I think the second reason why people want to do group coaching program is because they talk to so many people who say, I just can't afford your coaching. And so they think, well, if I have a group coaching program, I can charge less and then I'll continue to make money. Almost 100% of the time. So 99.99% of the time, that is a worth mindset issue for being able to confidently believe in your ability to deliver at the price that you're charging. It's a mindset, mental framing issue. Does that make sense? And that's why you shouldn't cop out by having a group program when you're first starting. Get on the phone with people and help them. Get clarity, ask really good questions. It's just a conversation where you show up curious and you're trying to figure out three things. Can I help them? Do they have a better chance of getting the result they're after with my help or without it? And do I want to work with this person? If the answer is yes to all three of those, then have the conversation and then help them work through their fear of actually taking that leap of faith to make the changes in their life and to make the investment in themselves. Make sense? So that's the second reason why I see people wanting to start a group coaching program. You're going to hear plenty of other people who will tell you, no, you can start with a group coaching program, and you can't. It is difficult. All right. You can have rolling enrollment, all kinds of questions. Is it a 3-month course and then you bring on new clients? Whereas if let's just say you start with one-on-one, you use a natural enrollment method that we teach in Coach Launch, you learn it, you begin to implement it, you use it really well, then you can start enrolling clients. Let's say you get to 10 clients at just $500 a month. So if you have a 3-month package, that's $1,500, 10 clients in a month, that's $5,000. Probably you can go full-time. You can probably go full-time right there. You don't have to, but you can with 10 clients. That's 20 hours worth of work a week if you spend an hour in prep for each client and then your calls are an hour long. All right. There's so much that goes into it, bookkeeping and content creation and everything like that. But you go full-time at 5K, probably, right? And it's a start. It's a great place to start. I remember my first 5K month. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe that I was making $5,000 in a month doing something I love and making an impact. Then at that point, you got to ask yourself, could I work with 20 clients in a month, one-on-one? And if you can't, maybe raise your prices. If you can, do it. Work with 20 and then raise your prices. It's all up to you. There is so much effort that will go into a group coaching program, and people won't tell you this because usually the people who are pushing for you as a new coach to start a group coaching program are people, that's their expertise, right? They coach people and consult on how to have group coaching programs. So they're telling you to do it because they want you to pay them. And it makes sense, and I get it. But it doesn't really follow the process. And the process has a sequence. And building your coaching business has a sequence. And you don't want to get out of sequence too much because it will throw everything off and it will become more of a burden than anything else. Cindy says, you're having a group coaching now. What do you mean by that, Cindy? Do you mean, do I have a group coaching program right now? Or do you mean this is group coaching right now? Because on some levels, as much as I go live in the Coach Launcher group, it is group coaching. Josh, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Patrick, hope everything is going well on the other side of the planet. You are on the other side of the planet, brother. Love it. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. So there it is, okay? This is group coaching now. Yes, Cindy, on a lot of levels it is. I love the Coach Launcher group. I absolutely love it. But it's because I love working with new coaches. That's a whole nother story. People told me often, more than once, we'll just say that I shouldn't work with new coaches. New coaches can't afford help. New coaches have too many mindset issues. New coaches won't take the risk. I've been told all these things by consultants and other coaches that are further along the journey than I was. And I'm glad. I mean, I listened to them, but you got to do what you love doing. I love working with new coaches. Rosalind, how are you? Good to see you. So any questions on any of that? Again, when you're just starting out, forget about group coaching. Believe in what you do. Believe in your ability to coach and get into conversations and enroll people one-on-one until you have 10 clients. and I'm literally throwing out a ballpark. If it's $500 a month or whatever, that's 5K, right? Now, if you're like, oh, well, what I produce is worth way more than that in results. Okay, then charge whatever you feel like you should be charging. So to follow sequence is to begin with one-on-one and starting out. Rosalind, that is what I believe. That is what I believe. Now, don't hear what I'm not saying, right? If you do live events, that's great. Like if you do a group coaching program and a live event, I did that when I first started. I would have these small groups locally where I was at. We would meet each week to work on things like purpose, vision boards, stuff like that, right? I stopped doing that, but when I first started, and it was great for me to learn, but it wasn't a group coaching program where we would meet weekly, online, virtually. Online classes, what do you mean, Nicole? Good question. Online classes, I'm not sure if you mean like a video course or like a live class. Yeah, just let me know what you mean, Nicole. Do you mean like a video course where you just log into a membership portal and you watch the class? Or do you mean like a live class program where people show up at a specific time for the event online and then you teach? That's fine. Video courses with workbooks are fine. You can't charge much for them. I mean, you can get an online class on almost anything for like $49. This is what people in the fitness industry understand, is they're competing against apps that cost $2.99. You know what I mean? And so people think it's not the same as coaching. Online class is fine. However, it's so slow. Here's the sequence I see, Nicole. It is really slow doing in a class, because at first you're going to get maybe 4 people in it, and then you're going to let some people come in for free, right? And so maybe you'll launch your online class, maybe you'll have 4 people, right? And so maybe that's $400 for an online class. That's fine, but then how are you going to get the word out, right? If you're actively engaging people and having conversations with people and getting on enrollment calls with people, why not offer them one-on-one, right? Why not? Because here's what I know about classes. Very few people ever finish a class or a course. Very few. I don't know what the statistic is currently, but it's very, I do all my classes for free. All my online classes are free. Free classes, master classes, free webinars, they're all free. Because it's hard to make a living with an online class. People rarely finish them. There's zero accountability. And when people have questions, they can't get coached. When you're doing one-on-one coaching, right, you get to walk those people through it, high touch, tailored exactly for them. They get to ask questions in real time. I mean, it's coaching, right? Coaching, nothing wrong with a course, nothing wrong with a class. Can you get full-time that way? No, you cannot get full-time with classes or courses. Not within, it might take a couple years. Might take like 5 years. Ballpark, right? One-on-one coaching, 5 clients at $1,000 is $5,000. It's just much more quick. It's much easier to organically be able to market and enroll people for one-on-one coaching. The sequence would be one-on-one coaching to group coaching to a course. Does that make sense? Because while you're doing one-on-one coaching, you can have a conversation and get permission from the people you're coaching to record some of the sessions that can then become modules if you do group coaching. Those can eventually be recorded and become the actual course, and you take care of all that work in real time while you're actually helping people, and people in the course get to see you helping people. It's amazing. Does that make sense, Nicole? mean, it just, I mean, if you can charge 1K per session, do it. Yeah, I mean, if you can charge it, if people will pay you $1,000 per session, do it. For most new coaches, they're going to fall anywhere between $250 for 4 weeks to $1,000 for 4 weeks, depending on their own personal mental makeup and how they value the result that they're getting their clients. Rosalind says, without an educational background in helping people find purpose, what can a new coach explain as the reason for thinking they can help? You don't have to explain your reason for why you think you can help. I don't explain my reason for why I think I can help. I just help. Rosalind, this is all about your messaging, is all about getting inside the head and the heart of your potential client, so that as they're reading your messaging, you're explaining what they're going through and you're describing it before they're able to actually put words to it. They immediately go, she gets me. And the first question they're going to have is, I wonder if she can help me. And that's how you emotionally move someone to the place where they go, she really understands me. I wonder if she could help me. Where do you find the high performers who will pay for one-on-one? Everyone will pay for one-on-one, Sheila. Everyone will pay for one-on-one. Most people prefer it. Is it the most effective? Not necessarily. But it just depends. You put your messaging out, you resonate with people so well because you've done the work. And that's the part of, your focus and your messaging and understanding your niche and understanding each of your potential clients and what they're going through, because you're engaging with them and having conversations with them. So they're telling you what's keeping them up at night. They're telling you what they dream about, what they daydream about. They're explaining this to you, and you immediately take that and you write all that down. You take all the notes, and probably your ideal potential client is also in your rearview mirror, as Jeff Moore says. When you look in the rearview mirror of your own life, right? At some point in your life, you probably went through some of the things your ideal potential clients are going through, so you really understand, right? But where do you find high performers who will pay for one-on-one? Everywhere, and I'm not kidding, everywhere. Anytime I'm in an Uber, that Uber driver, we get into a conversation, and I can't tell you the number of times I've been in a conversation with an Uber driver and then ended up enrolling in one-on-one coaching with them. Conferences, Facebook, Instagram. I have people at Xfinity who knock on my door and are trying to sell me Xfinity, and I say, yeah, I'm good. I've got Fios and I've got, fiber optic cables for my business. Oh, what kind of business do you? I'm a coach. I work with Fortune 100 executives, and I help new coaches launch. And 2 times now, I've had an Xfinity person say, a salesperson knocking on my door, literally coming to my house, saying, I want to launch a coaching business. I mean, they are everywhere. They're at your coffee shop. They're at church. People don't. The problem with niching is that we limit where we can find people that we can help. We think they have to be a certain age or a certain sex, gender, or they have to be in a very certain life circumstance, and those people can only be found somewhere very specific. But the reality is, people everywhere need help. Now, does everyone need dating help? Not necessarily, but if you're a dating coach, you can find people on the golf course who need dating help. Does that make sense, Sheila? Rosalind, I would say that if they thought that $600 is too much, there is a chance that you didn't go deep enough with them in the conversation to find out what is going on in their life and what exactly they need help with and how they feel about that and where they feel like they're being held back and what is it costing them not to make the change and what is it worth to make the change. And why do they really want it? When you begin to understand all those things, and the person you're talking to repeats those things back to you, it becomes very clear to them how bad they want it. Maybe they just don't want to make the change bad enough. Does that make sense, Rosalind? And it takes some time. When I first started, probably 1 out of every 10 people I would talk to would become a client. Now it's much, much better, but I've been doing this for a while. I've invested tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars to get better and better and better at what I do. I like $600 for 6 weeks for you, Rosalind. I would say, maybe make it something so that they maybe make it like 649, so that people don't immediately just break it down to $100 per session, because you don't want people working with you, paying you for your time. You want them to understand that they're going after a result. Many times I've had a conversation with somebody, and I will just say, what is it worth to you to be able to spend the time with your family that you want to spend and still keep your job? Still do the job that you love. When I'm working with execs, and they say, that's worth everything. It's worth everything. And so I'll ask them, can you put a figure to it? Like, what would you pay a month for 3 months? I pay $3,000 a month for 3 straight months if I could actually connect deeply with my family and still be able to spend the amount of time I need to spend at work. Okay, let's do it. Does that make sense? Did you offer free Zoom for interview to see if good fit, or free phone? Yeah, it's a free phone call every time, Sheila. Every time. And when I first started, I would have them with everybody. I wouldn't do a free coaching call. I would just engage with them in conversation and say, hey, let's get on the phone. I'll ask you some questions. If I can help you long term, what I need to do is I need to get clarity on, can I actually help you? And so I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. If I can, I'll tell you. I'll just let you know I can help you long term. If I can't, I'll tell you what I would do if I were in your shoes. You can call it a strategy session. You can call it a discovery call. You can call it an enrollment call. You can call it anything you want to call it. But it's just a conversation that you're having with another person where you show up really curious. And I've got a list of questions that I'm asking. I want to find out what's going on. I want to find out, can I help them? I want to find out, are they better off with my help than they are without it? And I want to find out, do I actually want to work with this person? If it's yes to all 3 of those, then I'll consider saying, hey, I can help you, we should work together. But sometimes I get on the phone. Just last week, I got on the phone with somebody. Could I help them? Yes. Did I know somebody who was a better fit for them that could actually help them probably better than I could? Yeah. So I said, listen, I know this guy. I'll just tell you, his name's Jim Fisher. He's in this group. I know this guy, Jim Fisher. I think he actually would be the perfect person for you to work with. Could I help you? Yes. But I think Jimmy is the guy you should be working with. And I base that on a lot of factors, but it's just what I felt. It's what I believe. I know he can help her. He's an expert in what she was looking for. So I just said, can I email you his name? Can I email you and just connect you both an email and you set up a call? And so they did. Sheila, was that helpful? Paul, what's going on, brother? Curiosity is the best approach on the discovery calls for me. No expectation. Yeah, you're just asking expectations. I completely surrender the outcomes. On everything I do in life, I surrender the outcomes. I do it because it's the right thing to do. I do it because it's how I show up and I serve the moment that's in front of me. When I am attached to the outcome of any situation, but we'll just talk about coaching. When I'm attached to the outcome, it's a disaster because I'm trying to make things fit. I'm too stuck in my head. I'm not in touch with, what's going on within my own self because I care too much. I want the world to be out here. That means I'm trying to manipulate out here to make it match what I think it should. The world will never match you. The world will never, ever align with how you think it should. That is not how life works. But that's a whole nother mindset conversation. I love it, Paul. Show up with curiosity. Best approach. Any other questions? This is a great question, Sheila. Great question. Great question, Rosalind. Great question, Nicole. Do you advise we give out an outline of what will be covered for the clients to decide on? No, I don't advise that. I mean, you can if they're like, people want an outline because they want to get off the phone, right? If people say, hey, can you send this to me in writing? I say, I can, but while I'm on the phone, tell me what it is you actually want to know. If they aren't taking notes, if they aren't paying attention, I don't know that I want to work with them. And but it's just a conversation, so I'll just tell them that. I'll say, yeah, I mean, I can send you an outline, but while you have me on the phone, why don't you ask me anything you want to know about the program, about working together and coaching together? Oh, well, I just need an outline to show my wife. Okay, does your wife know that you want help in these areas? Well, no, I haven't talked to her about it. That's a red flag for me, right? That's a red flag for me. If someone has gone to the extent to talk to a coach, but they haven't shared with their spouse that they want to get help to connect better with their family, or people will say, I need to talk to my spouse, and I'll say, well, does your spouse know you want to become a coach? Well, no, they don't. That's a red flag. How do you get this far in this dream to launch a coaching business and your spouse doesn't know or your partner doesn't know? Does that make sense? Sheila, I use Facebook. That's what I use. I still use Facebook. When I first started, I would literally get in planes and fly to conferences and seminars that I wanted to attend. And while I was there, I would meet people. I would connect with them. I would ask them really good questions. I would engage with them. Everything I teach in natural enrollment, I would do all. If you haven't been through the units, you should check out Unit 4. Just will give you a really good idea of how I ended up using Facebook. But it was just like I'd come back and maybe within a month I'd enroll one of those people as a client. But I use Facebook now. I teach all my clients on Facebook. You can apply it to Instagram. You can apply it. I have had clients who have applied it to gyms, just going to work out at gyms. And they enrolled, 5 to 10 clients just working out at a gym. Paul, yeah, that's accurate. I've been doing live workshops and we'll fill a room with 50 to 60 women, but can't convert. There's a break there. Okay, there's a breakdown there, Sheila. That's something you should be able to convert them through proper engagement and having a conversation, and depending on what medium you're using. If you're using Facebook for this, then that medium would be a messenger. Really simple, asking deep questions. We maybe should talk, Sheila. I can ask you some more questions and find out exactly where you're stuck. But if you're getting 50 to 60 women to gather together in a live workshop and no one's converting to one-on-one client, we can fix that pretty quickly. I'm certain, 100% positive. You should be walking away with at least one client, if not 5. All right, any other questions before we roll? I'm gonna go cook dinner. I think it's steak, mashed potatoes, green beans tonight. I always talk about food at the end of these because I like to eat, and I like to eat good food. And my daughters love it too. Sheila, let me see that. I think we are friends. If we aren't, we should be. And we can set up a time in the next few days to chat and just find out where you're at and what you're doing and what I need to know. Lots of stuff, what you want to do, how it's going so far, how many clients you've worked with, what you're doing with these live workshops. But we should be able for you to make that happen. We are friends. Woo! All right, great. I'll shoot you no mac and cheese tonight. No, mac and cheese usually goes with the butternut breaded chicken. and the green beans and carrots. I love green beans. So 50 to 60 people is great. It is, Paul. Absolutely amazing. So, yes, let's talk. All right, you're all awesome. Thank you. Put this to use. Make this work. Do the work. It's lots of work, but like I've talked about before, it's not like farming from 5:30 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. So, but it is work. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. All right. Have a great night. Everybody take care.